Welcome to Bias Recognition and Mitigation. After watching this video, you will be able to analyze the sources of bias in AI-enhanced educational tools and evaluate their impact on learning outcomes, apply effective strategies to recognize and mitigate bias, ensuring fairness and inclusivity in AI-driven education, and develop a continuous improvement plan to monitor, address, and refine AI tools for equitable educational experiences. AI-powered educational tools aim to deliver personalized learning experiences, but hidden biases within these systems often lead to increased inequalities rather than closing educational gaps. Unchecked biased algorithms distort assessment results, restricting student opportunities and building unforeseen obstacles. Let's learn how to recognize and address bias within AI-driven educational systems. AI can promote inclusivity by identifying risks and using fairness-focused strategies to avoid perpetuating inequalities. We must work together to transform AI in education into an equalizing force for all students. Bias in education AI systems can potentially cause unequal treatment, mischaracterization of students' abilities, and perpetuate current disparities. Recognizing how bias appears is critical to preventing AI tools from giving any student unfair, inaccurate, and exclusive results. Overcoming bias is essential to maintaining equity, trust, and integrity in AI-aided education and creating an environment where all students gain without discrimination. Bias in AI systems may originate from various sources, compromising the fairness and accuracy of results. The biases usually result from data-related, algorithmic, and user-related issues, each significantly influencing AI behavior. The quality and the makeup of training data mainly cause bias related to data. AI models are trained on past data, which might have embedded biases or insufficient representation of some groups. The model may reinforce existing biases and produce biased results when data is incomplete or biased. Bias can arise from how the data is gathered. The sampling methods, environmental influences, and situational factors may create unintended favoritism or exclusion, again, affecting AI prediction and decision-making. Algorithmic bias is also a key concern, usually due to how AI models are structured. Embedded assumptions and decision-making structures can inadvertently prefer specific outcomes, creating systematic bias. The lack of transparency in the operation of algorithms makes it hard to detect and rectify such biases. Without direct visibility into the decision-making process, it is hard to tell if an AI system generates biased results. User interaction bias arises when AI systems learn through repeated user input. Feedback loops can amplify and strengthen biases unless proper monitoring is established. Biased outputs that affect future interactions can cause the system to become more biased with time. There is also interpretation bias when users, such as teachers, administrators, or decision-makers, impose their personal or systemic biases when interpreting AI-provided insights, again affecting outcomes. Let's discuss various strategies for recognizing and mitigating bias in AI. Regular audits and testing. Conduct routine audits to detect and address bias in AI outputs. Use statistical analysis to assess performance across diverse student groups. Diverse and inclusive data sets. Incorporate varied perspectives and demographic diversity in training data. Regularly update data sets to ensure inclusivity and relevance. Stakeholder feedback. Involve educators, students, and parents in reviewing AI-generated content. Utilize surveys and focus groups to identify and address potential biases. Transparent reporting. Share bias audit findings with stakeholders to build trust and accountability. Use visual reports and dashboards to track and communicate bias metrics. Making AI fairer and minimizing bias must be addressed systematically throughout various development and deployment stages. Here are the essential techniques and best practices to design more responsible and fair AI systems. Pre-processing techniques. Proper data preparation is essential in reducing bias in AI models. Data cleaning detects and rectifies biased or outlier data before training. Methods, such as anonymization and normalization, minimize differences further, promoting fairness. Moreover, having balanced data sets through sourcing diverse and representative data guarantees that all student groups are included appropriately. Algorithmic adjustments. AI models must be architected for fairness. Constraints for fairness assist in incorporating measures for fair outcomes and adjusting model parameters to constrain the influence of bias. AI systems need frequent updates to retrain them using bias-conscious data to evolve as educational demographics change. Post-processing interventions. Once AI models produce outputs, output calibration methods may modify results to overcome identified bias. Human intervention is essential in evaluating and enhancing AI output to avoid bias magnification. Adaptive feedback processes enable AI systems to track bias in real time and make the required changes, improving fairness and accuracy. Training and awareness. Continuous training for teachers is essential to identifying and mitigating AI bias. Constant training sessions teach them about bias detection methods and ethical implications. Clear guidelines and best practices ensure proper interpretation and utilization of AI-derived insights, fostering transparency and trust in AI-based decisions. A structured framework is followed to repeatedly check, shape, and make AI systems more fair and efficient. Iterative reviews. Review frequently to determine AI performance and bias metrics. Embed feedback loops to improve and realign AI instruments constantly. Collaborative solutions. Set up interdisciplinary groups that include educators, data scientists, and ethicists to manage bias reduction. Foster open debate concerning bias and fairness to ensure continuous improvement. Documentation and transparency. Maintain in-depth documentation of bias audits, mitigation plans, and results. Provide insights, best practices, and lessons learned to the broader education community. In this video, you learned that educational AI bias causes unfair results, misrepresentation of student skills, and inequity. Bias arises from various factors. Data-related bias occurs due to imbalanced data sets, leading to skewed model predictions. Algorithmic bias stems from flaws in model construction, affecting fairness and accuracy. User interaction bias emerges from feedback loops, reinforcing existing patterns and biases. Techniques to mitigate bias include frequent audits, diverse data, fairness constraints, human monitoring, and adaptive feedback mechanisms. Best practices include bias awareness training, stakeholder feedback, and transparent reporting. Ongoing improvement via iterative examination, interdisciplinary collaboration, and documentation ensures AI is inclusive, equitable, and unbiased for all learners, building assurance and integrity in AI-augmented education.